Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on itvtt.com. I'm Michael Dumay. Thanks for joining us. And the headlines: the Prime Minister praises TTPS for assisting commuters during maxi taxi strike. Teen injured in suspected drive-by shooting in Princestown. Minister Jerlene John calls for future-focused infrastructure at Disaster Risk Conference. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has commended the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for assisting commuters affected by Monday's maxi taxi strike. The TTPS deployed a fleet of police-operated maxi taxis to help transport stranded passengers after the industrial action disrupted services across the country. Acting on the instructions of Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara, 5 TTPS maxi taxis were sent to Citygate in Port of Spain to provide transportation along key routes, helping workers, students and families reach their destinations. The initiative received praise from the Prime Minister, who described the officers' actions as an example of outstanding leadership, compassion and service to the public. In a statement shared on social media, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar said the police service went beyond the call of duty by assisting stranded commuters, supporting vulnerable citizens and demonstrating its commitment to public service. The TTPS said the initiative reflects its ongoing dedication to both public safety and community support, particularly during times of disruption. A 16-year-old schoolboy was injured in a suspected drive-by shooting in Princestown on Sunday night as police recovered 13 spent shells from the scene and launched an investigation into the attack. According to reports, around 9:30 p.m., the teenager was liming along Lair Avenue when he noticed a black vehicle enter the street, make a turn, and then speed away. Moments later, several loud explosions rang out, and the teen felt a burning sensation in his left knee. The vehicle reportedly continued along the roadway towards Lair Village Branch Road as the injured teenager sought assistance from a nearby resident, who transported him to the Princestown District Health Facility for treatment. Medical officials treated the victim for 2 puncture wounds to his left knee. Police officers later processed the scene and recovered 13 spent shells. Investigators noted that no surveillance cameras were located in the immediate area. Investigations into the shooting are ongoing. Infrastructure must be built not only for today, but for future generations. That was the message from Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Jerlene John, as she addressed the Trinidad and Tobago Disaster Risk Management Conference and Expo on Monday. Speaking at the government's Revitalization Blueprint, Minister John said the initiative is focused on building resilient communities, stronger infrastructure, and sustainable economic growth. She described the blueprint as a contract with the future, stressing that resilience must be embedded at every stage of infrastructure development. The minister noted that sustainable growth cannot be built on fragile infrastructure and said careful planning, strong engineering standards, and long-term maintenance are critical to ensuring projects remain durable and effective. She also highlighted the importance of incorporating nature-based solutions where practical and environmentally sustainable. These include preserving coastal buffers, improving stormwater management through green infrastructure, stabilizing slopes with vegetation, and protecting riverbanks to reduce erosion and flooding. According to Minister John, the success of the revitalization blueprint will not be measured by economic growth alone, but by its ability to deliver safe, inclusive, and sustainable development. She said the program must create infrastructure that connects communities, protects the environment, supports economic opportunities, and improves quality of life for citizens. The 3-day conference at the Hyatt Regency has brought together more than 50 speakers to discuss solutions and strategies aimed at shifting Trinidad and Tobago from disaster management to risk management under the theme Resilience 360, bringing knowledge and action.
It is measured by the discipline of the requirements written into the requests for proposals, the standards imposed on the design team, the surveys required before construction, the safeguards demanded during implementation, and the systems put in place for long-term operation and maintenance. That is where policy becomes engineering. That is where vision becomes bankable, buildable, durable, and where we bridge knowledge and action. Along waterfronts, this may mean preserving or restoring ecological buffers, using planted hedges where wave energy permits, integrated stormwater treatments into landscape public realm, using green infrastructure to reduce runoff, and designing open spaces that temporarily store water during heavy rainfall. Along highways and rural access corridors, it may mean stabilizing slopes with vegetation, in combination with engineered measures protecting riverbanks, maintaining drainage corridor, and reducing uncontrolled runoffs that undermine pavements, bridge approaches. It must produce development that is safe, equitable, attractive, and functional. It must create waterfronts that invite public life without compromising safety. It must create transport corridors that connect rather than divide communities. It must create buildings that are energy efficient, accessible, and durable. It must create opportunities for women, young people, local professionals, small contractors, and communities. It must protect the environment while unlocking economic value. It must respect the old wisdom that good infrastructure is not only built for the present administration or a future administration, but for those who come after us.
We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
From the freshness of the ocean, Rainbow has sealed in all the natural, healthy goodness in their canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel. So go ahead, enjoy some crispy sardines, stewed mackerel, or a creamy tuna salad. Because while your tummy enjoys the great taste, your heart and immunity will love the healthy omega-3s, calcium, protein, and more. Rainbow's canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel are 100% real fish. So it's tasty, healthy eating for your body, heart, and mind. Rainbow canned fish.
Tile Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Residents of Blanchisseuse are welcoming the addition of a new mobile emergency response unit, describing it as a significant enhancement to healthcare services in the remote North Coast community. The North Central Regional Health Authority recently acquired a Toyota Land Cruiser 70 series off-road vehicle to strengthen emergency medical response capabilities as part of its ongoing efforts to improve healthcare delivery across the region. Community members expressed appreciation for the new resource, noting that the rugged vehicle is ideally suited to the challenging terrain along the North Coast Road and surrounding mountainous areas. Located approximately 24 kilometers north of Arima, Blanchisseuse is home to an estimated 1,400 residents and remains a popular destination for both locals and visitors due to its scenic beauty. The community health facility operates from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekends and public holidays. According to the NCRHA, the addition of the mobile emergency unit forms part of a broader commitment by its board and executive management to improve patient care and strengthen emergency response services throughout the region. Residents say the vehicle will play a critical role in ensuring faster access to medical assistance, particularly during emergencies when difficult road conditions can delay response times. The acquisition marks the latest investment aimed at improving healthcare accessibility and emergency preparedness for communities within the NCRHA's catchment area. Minister of Public Utilities Barry Padarath says more than 30,000 pipeline leaks were repaired across Trinidad and Tobago between April 2025 and April 2026 as part of ongoing efforts to improve the country's water distribution network. In a social media post on Tuesday, Minister Padarath highlighted the work undertaken by the Ministry of Public Utilities and the Water and Sewerage Authority, noting that a total of 30,709 leaks were repaired during the one-year period. According to the figures provided, the Northwest Regional accounted for 5,975 repairs, while 4,683 leaks were fixed in the Northeast. Central Trinidad recorded 5 6,935 repairs, the Southwest region 6,222, the Southeast 4,270, and Tobago 3,624. The minister said the achievement reflects the government's continued commitment, that is, to improving service reliability, reducing water loss, and strengthening critical infrastructure nationwide. He added that repair and maintenance efforts remain ongoing as WASA works to enhance water delivery and provide a more efficient service to citizens throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Disaster management officials from across Trinidad are participating in a two-day emergency simulation exercise in Port of Spain aimed at strengthening the country's preparedness and response capabilities in the event of a major disaster. The exercise brings together personnel from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Defense Force, the Meteorological Service, and disaster management units from all 14 municipal corporations. The DMUs, which operate within the municipal corporations, are among the first responders tasked with assisting communities during emergencies and natural disasters. Speaking at the exercise, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Peter Mitchell, outlined the importance of the initiative and the need for coordinated disaster response planning. He said the exercise is focused on enhancing the country's ability to execute effective disaster management while protecting both human lives and critical infrastructure.
Our purpose to execute effective disaster management, and our heart to protect the human and physical assets of Trinidad and Tobago. The vulnerability of the Caribbean to such seasonal disasters has shaped much of our regional development capacity, with hurricanes in particular threatening the stability of economies, industries, infrastructure, and most regrettably, human lives.
Supporters of Kai Sealy and Joshua Samaru are calling for a nationwide shutdown on June 5th as part of ongoing demonstrations surrounding the controversial case. Here's more. Activist Alyssa Phillip, who has been at the forefront of several protests in recent weeks, said the movement remains committed to its cause despite restrictions on public demonstrations under the current state of emergency. Phillip was arrested last Wednesday during a protest near the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Port of Spain and is scheduled to appear before a magistrate. Speaking to a news source, she said supporters have not been silenced and described the recent silent protest in St. James as symbolic of what she believes is the silence of many citizens on the issue. The movement is encouraging members of the public to stay home from work and other activists on June 5th and to share their participation on social media as a form of protest. Phillip argued that the matter extends beyond Sealy's case and raises broader questions about fairness, accountability, and public confidence in national institutions, including the justice system. She also responded to comments made by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, saying that while she respects the Prime Minister, she believes greater compassion should be shown towards Sealy's situation. Phillip further rejected any suggestion that the movement is connected to criminal elements, stressing that its organizers are not gang-affiliated and that citizens have a constitutional right to express their views and engage in peaceful protests. She also acknowledged support from several public figures who have publicly voiced support for the movement. The calls for a shutdown come amid continuing public debate over the charges laid against Sealy and the circumstances surrounding the fatal police shooting of Samaru in January 2026. You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Are you renewing your motor, homeowner or business insurances shortly? Then call Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, for a competitive quote. With 2 locations, Todd Street, El Socorro and 5 Rivers, Aruca. Please call us at 221-5051 or 227-5051. Kalyani Limited, agency for Tatil, building relationships exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. In our sport highlight, Trinidad and Tobago's Olympic and World Championship medalist Kershawn Walcott began his 2026 campaign with a bronze medal at the Wanda Diamond League meeting in Rabat, Morocco on Sunday. Here's more. Walcott produced a best throw of 82.52 meters to secure third place in the men's javelin competition. Grenadian star Anderson Peters claimed gold with a winning effort of 86.09 meters, while Sri Lanka's Ramesh Turanga took silver with a throw of 85.97 meters. Walcott opened the competition with a throw of 80.63 meters before recording attempts of 76.93 meters and 75.70 meters. He later improved to 82.52 meters, a mark that ultimately secured the bronze medal position. The Diamond League circuit now moves to Rome on June 4th before continuing to Stockholm, Oslo and Paris as part of the June schedule. The result marks a positive start to the season for Walcott as he continues preparations for the major international competitions ahead. Let's now take a look at some international news.
More than 48 hours after President Trump said he'd make his final determination on a deal with Iran, tonight, still no deal. But the president insisting the two sides are getting close.
We're close to a very good deal, and if we can make it good, otherwise we just start up with the Department of War.
Trump is demanding Iran reopen the Strait of Hormuz, guarantee it won't develop a nuclear weapon, and hand over its highly enriched uranium. Trump also saying he wants Iran to agree not to buy a nuclear weapon.
Now it says we will not develop or in any way purchase a military weapon. That's a big difference.
But despite the economic pain that Americans are feeling at the pump, the president making clear he's in no rush.
We're getting what we want slowly, very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry.
The Treasury Secretary insisting the economic pain will be short-lived.
I am very confident that the energy prices are going to come down very quickly.
This as the Freedom 250 State Fair, a Trump-backed event, faces setbacks. The majority of musicians billed for the event now pulling out. Trump saying he'll step in, announcing a rally on the National Mall on June 24th, and floating the idea of scrapping the entire 16-day event for a Make America Great Again rally, rather than, in his words, having overpriced singers who nobody wants to hear, whose music is boring, and yet who do nothing but complain. But Freedom 250 says they aren't canceling the event, instead adding an opening ceremony for the president to speak at.
Some musicians want to play music for everybody, and some musicians seem to have segmented their audiences the same way politicians have.
Tonight, the extraordinary scene in Laos. 4 miners stuck underground in a flooded cave for more than a week, emerging on their own. Cries of joy as they embrace rescuers and collapse onto the ground.
I was literally about to head into the cave myself when all of a sudden we heard all these cheers and spun around, and 4 very muddy miners just suddenly emerged out of the cave on their own.
I spoke with Josh Richards, one of the rescue divers. He had been moments away from entering the cave.
They're very tired, they're very dehydrated, they're malnourished.
Rescuers bringing a 5th man to safety hours earlier, teaching him to use scuba gear, helping him navigate through those narrow, jagged crevices, crawling on his hands and knees.
It is genuinely a miracle that Nico managed to pull out the first guy last night.
The 5 were first located Wednesday, discovered huddled together on a rock. Torrential rains in recent days had flooded the caves, rescuers using pumps to remove that murky water.
We were determined that we were going to have these pumps moved around in order to remove as much water as possible, and apparently these guys have decided they didn't want to stay in the cave any longer.
Those men perhaps sensing a make-or-break moment as water levels fall, seeing an opportunity to get out and taking it.
These guys have literally just crawled themselves out 300 metres through a horrendously tight cave. They've obviously shown an amazing spirit in order to pull themselves out.
And tonight, officially 2 men remain missing.
When we return, your weather update and more, stay tuned.
Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Let's do India and Nepal, a soulful journey across timeless destinations. Delhi, Kathmandu, Varanasi, Ayodhya, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Agra, and Jaipur. August 12th to 28th. Presented by Pandit Omarat. Call 681-3476 to book now. Not just a trip, it's a spiritual and cultural experience.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
Today was generally warm, partly sunny and breezy across Trinidad and Tobago, with only a few isolated showers affecting some areas during the early morning period. Conditions improved as the day progressed, with a mix of sunshine and scattered cloudiness prevailing through much of the afternoon. Temperatures climbed to around 31 to 32 degrees Celsius in several districts, while overnight lows are expected near 24 degrees. Winds remained moderate to fresh at times, particularly along coastal areas and elevated terrain. Sea conditions were moderate, with offshore wave heights ranging from 2.0 to 2.5 meters and near 1.0 to 1.5 meters in sheltered coastal areas. Tonight is expected to be generally fair to partly cloudy, with a low chance of a brief isolated shower. Breezy conditions will persist in some areas as moderate easterly winds continue across the islands. Marine conditions are expected to remain moderate offshore, with waves between 2.0 and 2.5 meters in open waters and near 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Sea bathers and small craft operators should continue to exercise caution where seas become choppy. For Wednesday, expect a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness during the morning, with a few scattered showers developing during the day. Conditions may become briefly overcast at times, particularly during the afternoon, but prolonged rainfall is not anticipated. Temperatures are forecast to reach the low 30s Celsius, while humidity levels will remain relatively high. Winds will remain moderate and occasionally gusty near showers. Sea conditions are expected to remain moderate, with offshore wave heights between 2.0 and 2.5 meters and near 1.0 to 1.5 meters in sheltered coastal areas. Overall, Wednesday is expected to be partly sunny, warm, and occasionally showery.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continues its sustained efforts to combat criminal activity and enhance public safety through targeted anti-crime operations across the Southern Division. On Friday, 29th May, officers attached to the Southern Division Task Force, supported by the K9 unit, conducted a coordinated anti-crime exercise between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. The operation focused on areas within Princestown, San Fernando, La Romina, and Marabella. The exercise was coordinated by senior officers of the Southern Division and targeted known crime hotspots, drug blocks, frequently stolen vehicles, traffic offences, business establishments, and other public spaces. During the operation, officers conducted numerous vehicle stops and searches, which led to the arrest of 3 individuals: a 43-year-old Princestown man who was charged with possession of cannabis after officers allegedly found 102 grams of cannabis in his possession; a 21-year-old Laramie man who was charged with possession of cannabis after officers found 68 grams of cannabis in his possession; a 28-year-old Moruga man who was arrested in connection with inquiries under the current state of emergency regulations. Additionally, while conducting searches in the Princestown district, officers discovered and seized 226 grams of cannabis found in an open area along Rajak Street. 3 premises were also searched under the state of emergency regulations as officers continued efforts to disrupt criminal activity and gather intelligence. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service remains committed to proactive policing initiatives aimed at reducing crime, removing illegal drugs from communities, and ensuring the safety and security of all citizens. Officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service conducted a successful roving street check exercise within the Port of Spain Division between 10 p.m. on Thursday and 4 p.m. on Friday as part of ongoing efforts to improve road safety and deter impaired driving. The exercise, conducted under Operation Steady Guard, was sanctioned by Senior Superintendent Thumb, Superintendent Baird, and ASP cadet. The operation was coordinated by AG Inspector Edwards Ali. The operation yielded positive results with 33 persons administered breathalyzer tests and 5 motorists found to be above the prescribed legal limit of 35 micrograms of alcohol per 100 milliliters of breath. These individuals are expected to be dealt with in accordance with the law. Additionally, officers stopped and searched 21 vehicles and conducted searches of 33 occupants.
Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister praises TTPS for assisting commuters during maxi taxi strike. A teen injured in suspected drive-by shooting in Princestown. Minister Jolene John calls for future-focused infrastructure at Disaster Risk Conference. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.